Fang Yan was also a little anxious when he heard this, because he already felt that Xiaoxie came to him early in the morning, and there must be something important. He said, "Little abalone, what's wrong with her, P?" The little evil said, "This morning, it was just now, as soon as I woke up, she disappeared. I thought she came to find you, so I hurried to take a look. The result was 0, and the egg was dropped." Fang Yan said, "Xiao Bao has never been here. You wait a minute, I will order the subordinates to go down and find out." With that, he hurried to the front hall, telling his subordinates to find out all the suspicious things that had happened last night and this day. Fang Yan knew that if Xiao Bao master was lost within his jurisdiction, not to mention that he couldn't hang his face, if Xiao Bao master was missing, he would have no face to say goodbye to the beggar brothers. After explaining, he had already run back, and he asked seriously, "Little brother, you just said that you couldn't find the little abalone master and fell into the egg. What is the purpose of this falling egg?" The old man is puzzled. Can the little brother explain? In the past few days, he has been like a little evil with a good mind, and there are a lot of words, which are not something ordinary people can understand. In order not to be wrong, he has to ask clearly, especially this is about Xiao Beizu, let alone figure it out. As soon as Xiaoxie heard this question, he immediately felt funny in his heart, but he was embarrassed to joke any more before the incident, and he said, "Falling eggs means that the eggs fall from the sky and have no other purpose." This. Fang Yan was puzzled. What does this have to do with the disappearance of Xiao Beizu? Little Evil said, "You don't understand this presumably. It doesn't matter about the chicken Guanji. All the chickens Guanji are chaotic. If you throw the eggs from the sky, and you can't catch them, as soon as they fall to the ground, won't there be nothing if you can't find the little abalone? There is nothing. What else can you fall if you don't drop the eggs?" Fang Yan nodded and said, "It also makes sense. Yes, I can't find the little abalone, it's a fucking fall." He didn't find it funny, because he was now worried and overwhelmed. Soon, a little beggar had already run in and said, "The helmsman can't find any trace of the little abalone master in the whole city, and the people who go out of the city are all alone." When Xiaoxie heard this, he immediately shouted, "His mother's Qingji Mountain, you dare to attack people? Mom, I will ignore your bare head and make you an endless monk. Let's go." He pulled Xiaoqi and rushed out. Fang Yan immediately chased after him. As soon as he got out of the city gate, Xiaoxie said, "Xiaoqi, you grew up in the mountains, and you have animal instincts. Now that Ding is missing, you have to find the carriage carefully, and we will chase it down slowly." Xiaoxie's tone was a little excited. Xiaoqi could also understand the little evil intentions, nodded immediately, and immediately chased down the lane. After traveling for more than 10 miles, Xiaoqi had already noticed that the carriage had stopped halfway, and he walked around to check. He was vague, but it wasn't difficult for the elves to do it. As soon as Xiaoxie was concerned, he immediately followed, and the two chased down the west path, about 14 or 5 miles, crossed a small river, and sure enough, they had found footprints. Xiaoxie said excitedly, "It's okay, I didn't chase the wrong place." Xiaoqi looked at Xiaoxie and smiled, chased forward again, and turned over Yishan Mountain, they had found a dilapidated house. Xiaoxie shouted in a low voice, "Xiaoqi, slow down, let's see if Xiaoding is in there first." As he spoke, the two of them touched it. "There are people in the broken house. Just listen." An old man said, "Young master, this woman has been captured by us. Is the next step to attract Yang Xiaoxie and kill him?" Qing Jishan said angrily, "That stinky boy is very clever, and he has a bad idea. We have to be careful. It is not suitable to act during the day now, just like in the morning. We are going to kidnap him." Xiaoxie was angry outside, but he was also glad that he was not caught in the morning. Thanks to his usual training, when there is danger, he will naturally react. Even if it is a little, it is enough. The old man said, "Young master, have you ever told the head of the sect about this matter? This kind of insult to the Huashan faction, the head of the sect will definitely not let that kid go. Maybe the head of the sect will mobilize people and horses in anger, and kill that kid in one breath. Why should we take action?" Qing Jishan said with a smile, "I didn't tell my father. I want to deal with this kid. It's enough for you to take care of it. Why bother with his old man, let alone spend a lot of time mobilizing people to deal with that kid?" Qing Jishan is doing bad things without his father. Although Qing Zai, the head of Huashan, has this son, he is a decent person after all, but it is a pity that he is only one son and has been spoiled since he was a child. And Qing Zai is extremely protective of his shortcomings, so he will create this disciple. At this time, Xiaoding, who was tied to the ground, woke up, and when she saw that she was under the control of others, she immediately shouted, "Let go of me, you let go of me!" Qing Jishan said angrily, "Let you go? Save it! Where is your former majesty? When I catch that kid and come back to serve you, I will strip your clothes one by one, then." Ha ha! He had already revealed an obscene face. Xiaoding shouted, "You dare! When the little evil comes, I will tell him to kill you." Ha ha! Qing Jishan shouted arrogantly, "Kill me, haha!" As soon as he stretched out his hand, he was about to tear Xiaoding's clothes. Xiaoding was taken aback and said ashamedly, "Don't come, don't! Ah, help! Xiao Yat, come on, help!" Xiaoding was in a mess at this time. She didn't expect Qing Jishan to be obscene to this extent, and now how she hopes that Xiaoxie is by her side and can solve the crisis for her. The figure flashed, and Xiaoxie had rushed into the house very quickly, and a stone hit Qing Jishan's head like a meteor chasing the moon. Suddenly, the little evil descended like a god. Qing Jishan panicked. His head had been hit. Wow! Fell backwards, fell a dog eating, and the wolf was extremely ruthless. Xiaoqie also rushed in at this time, standing behind Xiaoxie. At this time, the general manager had stopped Xiaoxie, only to see that he was about 50 years old, more than 6 feet, slightly fat, with mediocre facial features, and slightly small eyes. Xiaoxie said angrily, "What the fuck are you? 3 indiscriminate, Xiaoxing is not in the stream, and will only do this kind of thing of stealing chickens and touching dogs, phew." Xiaoxie spit out a mouthful of phlegm and said sharply, "If Xiaoding is hurt a little, damn, I will draw your tendons and skin you." He couldn't get angry with the people who had taken his friends, especially a female streamer like Xiaoding. The general manager of Accept Life took off, stretched out his palm and conjured up countless palm shadows. The cold wind was pressing. What he made was the 18th style of Huashan stunt Wuxiang Divine Palm Lawless. Its power was huge, and the house shook and shook. The little evil also didn't care about fighting with him, and immediately greeted him with the great compassion palm of my Buddha compassion. When the palm shadow was full of sky, the strong wind xiao, the two of them touched, bang! A palm hit sound, although the little evil skill is not enough, but the great compassion palm is magical, and the other party is a general manager, not a top master. This time the little evil not only sealed the general manager's power, but also imprinted a palm on his chest. The manager didn't expect that he would lose the battle within one move, but he was immediately annoyed and angry, and he drank hard, raised his palms, twisted his waist, and bounced his legs to lure ghosts and catch gods. He was angry and bound to win. Xiaoxie slapped the commander, and he already knew in his heart that this guy's martial arts were very loose, but in order to save people, he had to fight quickly. As soon as he withdrew, he had swept to the left side, his palms were slightly raised, and a move of Buddhism gate for 1,000 miles was like the water of the Yangtze River, stretching endlessly, thick and powerful, and the electric switch was slashing towards the head of the chief manager like a gallop. The two came into contact again, splitting aggressively for a burst of palm shadows swept by, and the two of them were each shocked back 5 steps, and the manager had already slapped the little evil palm on his right cheek, and a red palm print immediately appeared, but unfortunately the little evil was not strong enough, otherwise this palm would have to break his head.